Okay, so today what we will do, we'll discuss about basic Linux commands which are required for WebSphere administration. And most of the you guys could be knowing most of these commands. So Sandeep, this class would be helpful to you. And yeah, and if you get any doubts, you can ask me. And so
Sure, Praveen, and also please record the session.
yeah, I started, yeah. And okay. So till now in the Unix part, when we say about commands part, do you have doubts anywhere till now, like in the topics which we have covered? Do you have any doubts? Okay, we'll start the topics which I want to discuss. Let me start the VM. Yeah. So we will be discussing many commands. I believe you may think while discussing you may think, yeah, you know this, you understood this. And so the point, so what I would suggest is after finishing class also you can have a look on these commands, try to practice. And maybe you can rewind this class in the YouTube, once I upload. So, and even, yeah, later you can ask me if you have any doubts. So I will be covering the basic commands which we require. So to start with, the other day we have discussed LSOF hyphen high and the port number. So this port number would be generally your Java application port number. If you did remember the application earlier, we have accessed 9080. When we after deploying application, we have checked how to check the port of the application. So maybe we'll cover the topic tomorrow again. So it's nothing but you have to check the port on which application is configured, and you can check whether the port is listening or not. So you can check those things with this command. And generally, even with this command, you will get the status like uh, running, waiting, all those things. So the status is waiting means in those situations you have to you may have to restart your service. Why? Because even while discussing on monitoring, we have discussed if the status is waiting, there could be some issue with the JVM, or you might be having some hung processes. So when you run this command, if you get anything status saying waiting, better you restart the JVM, so so that it will kill all hung processes. And you may even see the error codes. 200 means that's fine, you don't need to worry, it is success. And if you see some codes like 503 means again your JVM could be down, you may have to restart, or you may have to check the logs and troubleshoot accordingly. So that's fine. So this is one of the major command you can do every day. And the other command, yeah, the other day, we have installed SQL Server, and we said that it will install on some default port number. So say suppose your application is giving some database error, could not connect, or could not connect SQL, could not pull out SQL report, something related to database. In those situations, to check whether your application server is connecting to database server or not, what you will do, you just do this command telnet and space, give the host name where this SQL server is configured, and give the port number of your SQL server. So in general, default ports SQL server, you can Google it. Default Oracle ports, you can Google it. Any default applications you can Google and find. But if ports are related to specific applications configured for your environment, in those situations you should have record. You should have some internal Wikipedia, internal database, or even development team can give port numbers. So yeah, you should just use this command to check the connectivity of specific application in particular host. Yeah, apart from this, right, maybe I'll come in the next commands. So there is even a command called ping. You can use even ping, and then I believe in Linux it is fping. We'll check. Ping is in the Windows. Oh, yeah. So ping is in the Windows. Fping should be in the Linux. I'll check it out. So fine, and don't worry. This is a loopback address. Any system, any server, any system, it will by default it would be assigned to this IP address. So this is nothing but IP address of my own laptop. Even for your laptop, it would be the same. So this is they call this as a loopback address. That's fine. That's again different subject, but every system would be assigned with this address, and this is called loopback address. That's fine. Okay, so even you can check with loopback address to check whether your network card is working or fine. So well, this goes to networking subject. So let us come back here. So and PS, yes. Again with PS, you have to always grep with your service. If you do just PS, right, you'll get all the processes running in your server. You may not require all the services because it could be services related to Linux administration, all those things. So our role would be specifically related to WebSphere. So you should be knowing your port number of your applications. So in general, you will grep with the port number of your application. And if not, sometimes in some environments you can just keep here Java, the term Java, because our applications will be Java applications. Even if you keep Java, you will get results. Based on results, based on the description and the results, you can judge whether it is related to our application or all those things. And yeah, these are very commonly used very common in the office. Let me see whether Linux box has come up. Okay, and the other day, we were discussing about how to analyze the performance to check the system configuration. I mean, your server configuration. You should you should check proc slash CPU info. This is proc slash is a very common path where your system information would be existing. It could be even in the etc. So let us try to access this path. It's been very long time I have accessed, but this is very generic. You can try to access and get the details of your system. If I get very soon, it's not there. It's not there. Let me use find command. Find dot hyphen name asterisk ROC asterisk. Okay, let us, and then okay, we'll see what result we'll get. Yeah, at least proc it's working. So let me try that in Google. Sorry, root. Find out. Okay, dot slash proc. The other day, we have tried find command. We might have done some mistake the other day. We couldn't execute find. So, this is how you can use find. It's a very powerful tool. You can search whichever folder you want, and so find, and you can, this is the path, you can give the path, whichever path you want to search, and you can give the name, whichever name you want to search. And there are many options. You can search files, you can search directories. If you explore, right, you'll get many options, but this is one of the basic example. Using find command, you can search whichever file you want. And so I'm just wondering, dot slash proc, yeah. Okay, let us do this. CPU info. Okay, we got it. Okay, let me see. Okay, see here, if you do CPU info, you're getting details. Yeah, my processor is Intel Core, and CPU is 1.7. If you have multiple processors, multiple cores, you'll get those details as well. And it is saying the vendor as well, cache. Okay, here it is saying about CPU. So I got CPU info. Let me try with mem info. So fine. So I got the path here, proc slash mem info. Okay, cat proc slash mem info. So here it is saying in KB, and maybe you can explore and see if you can get in MB. So check here. So mem total, memory free, memory available. So Neha, the other day we were discussing, right? You can check such kind of data and analyze, okay? Like about performance, and this may be important when you are increasing a heap size. So heap size Neha, when covering monitoring, we'll discuss in detail. So when you want to increase the heap size, maximum heap size, all those things, you may it's but you may it would be advantage if you check the size of memory in your CPU and available memory in your CPU, and how is it performing and all those things. So these two details would be helpful to analyze your servers. Fine. So let us come back to the subject. Fine. So proc slash CPU info mem info. You can check about your server configuration details, and free hyphen m. It's been a long time I have used this command. So let me see the output. Okay, even this is giving memory. So not sure. It's giving some default size, could be in MB, but you can Google it out. So, but this is also giving details of memory. So mem info free hyphen m, but this is mem info is giving more clear picture, and man FRE free here bytes hyphen m display more memory in megabytes. Okay, so it is displaying in megabytes MB. So you can analyze the data accordingly. So human source gigabytes, okay. Free hyphen m, yeah. Let us give hyphen g. I believe it should be capital G or what. Okay, leave it. So here m means it is giving in megabytes. So somehow you can you can explore. You can explore with free and you can explore with meminfo. So let us come back to the next command. Free, and even we have discussed top to check the complete CPU performance. We'll check the top, so we'll just have a glance once again today. Top, it just gives a performance of your CPU, so CPU usage and task running, sleeping, CPU usage, and okay, memory, this much is available, this much is free, this much is used. Swap, this much is free, this much is used. Available memory. And the CPUs, you'll be having some threshold values in your office, and maybe sometimes you can check with monitoring team and check the threshold values. And these values, generally it should be below 5, something like that. You'll have some threshold values, and if they are above certain values, you should think that the CPU utilization is very high. So you should better, you just because CPU size will be different in different companies. So better you check about threshold values once you reach check once you go to a new project to check performance issues. Better you identify the threshold values in those companies, and what are the values of that CPU when it is working well, what are the values when it is working well, and what are the values when there are any issues, and based on those outputs you can analyze. So top will give you details about CPU usage and even memory usage. So memory usage, yeah, it is very clear, total, free, all those things. So you can check, you can see the analyzed data and take the decisions accordingly. Fine, top, if you do hyphen m, it will give details of memory, and hyphen c, even I did not remember. Let me see, hyphen c, that's fine, I'm not sure, so I'll remove this. Well, and VM stat, again it's same details about memory. Now meminfo, free, and even top, that's fine. All these three are sufficient. This is just one more command to know details about memory, and if at all required you can just learn more about it, but these three are sufficient. Yeah, Raghu, you want to
Yes,
say?
sir.
Yeah.
Can you please make some comments like how to check the swap space? So then,
Swap space, okay, even free hyphen m you can check, right? Free hyphen m it is giving, and
like if you are checking with free also,
mhm.
like free or top, you can get the information. But the complete swap space, which is taking the swap space complete, but the swap space information, you may not get the proper information
See
here
here,
with that.
yeah, total swap space is this much and total swap space free is this much.
Process is taking.
Yeah,
Process is
yeah,
taking that.
even it is saying used also.
Okay. No, which process I need to call? Like, example, root or app server or
Okay,
something like
I got it. Well, okay, for the time being, based on our knowledge right now, you can say that we can say that you can go to top and check the top using processes. Generally, top using processes would use more memory. You can analyze like this, but if at all I'll try to dig more, and if at all I get any new ideas, I'll let you know. But for the time being, we can say using top, whichever uses the top memory, and in that top memory usage, if any applications related to our applications, we may have to troubleshoot them accordingly. You are getting process names also right here.
yeah.
Yeah. So now based on top, you can judge.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. And okay. And anyways, so top we have discussed. Well, tail to check the logs. Yes, we use this very every day. So let me check cd slash operating IBM WebSphere app server JS logs. Well, yeah. So here, CR. So tail, yeah. Generally, so we generally check system out dot log tail. Well, again, tail you can give option -10. Only 10, you'll get only 10 lines. Well, again, you can grep. Generally, you will grep with error. So this is very common. In general, you want to check errors. I is ignore case. It will give even capital or small. So this is very common command. You check. Well, we do not have any errors. If you want to search anything, pick up random SCRV. Well, so yeah, you're getting some output. Wherever server is mentioned. So whichever word you want, you can search accordingly. So you can use grep -I to search the output. So this is how you can check the logs in our office to troubleshoot our environment. Fine, and so this is why we use tail. Apart from tail, we have head also. So head means it gives last 50 lines. Head means it gives top lines. Similarly, we were checking last lines because recent update. We are bothered about recent updated logs. But if you want to check only old logs, means you can use head, or else if you don't want top, if you want to search with complete file, anyways we'll cover that also. We can directly use cat. Anyways, I will discuss that. It is there in our list. So see, I'm tail and head means it will search for top and bottom. But if you want to search for complete file, you can use system out. Okay, cat. It will search for the complete file. Yeah, in generally we search for error. Our server do not have any errors. So just to check the command, I'm searching with server. Yeah, we are getting much output. And so cat means is generally to read the file. Well, this is just to read the file, but cat can be used to create the file as well. And if I go to some folder, I did not create any folder. Just and then okay, fine. So yeah, cat can be used to create file also. Um, Test file. I can do something. So in order to exit from this console or this creation of file, you should just press Ctrl D. So once you press Ctrl D, the file would be created. So again, I'm using cat to read the file. And if you want to edit, you use this two arrows options. So earlier I have used only single arrow to create the file. So now I'm using two arrows to create the file. And now oh god, we have to see what will happen. See, yeah, that is what I want to say. So earlier I have created file, and if you want to edit, well, you will not get this option to use. This option will edit the file, and it just added the file. But edit forget, you may not get this option very frequently. Why? Because there is another VA editor. I'll tell you while finishing the class, because it's a little bit more. It is a little bit big topic. So fine, cat. You can create file if you want, and if you can read the file. So as of now, you can do this. If you want to edit the file, there is a much better option, VA editor, which we will discuss later. Fine. And okay guys, if you think anywhere I'm going fast, you can stop me. Okay. Next, yeah, df hyphen h. This command is used to check disk space info in your office. Generally, you'll get disk space issues where your application is configured, and you should find the, if disk space issues are there in general, you should zip the old log files, and you should move the old log files to some space. Generally you'll have some, generally in your company they will say, if disk space issues are there, you can move files to this so and so storage place, you'll be having some SAN space, whatever. It all, company will have some defined process. Based on those process, you should move the files. And even every company will have, you can keep 5 days old logs, or 1 month old logs, or 200 old logs. Every company will have some policies to maintain their logs based on their application complexity. So you should know all those things, and accordingly you should decide whether you can move, you have to move the log, or you have to delete the log. So on the whole, while using disk space, you use this command. So df is h is a very common command. It will say in memory all those things. So if you see, in Windows you'd be having C drive, E drive, all those things. So similar way here, you'd be having some partitions. So those partitions, see the allocated size, and then used space, and then available space. So it will give all those things, based on these, and even see the use percent. So if it is use percent is 87%, means the free space is only 13%. So like this you can analyze, and then you can go to the logs, and you should zip the files, and you should do all those things. Anyways, I'll tell you how to zip the class. The other day, while using find command, we have discussed how to zip the files. Yeah, I'll tell that later. Fine. And then chmod, these things. So just now we have seen how to create file, all those things. Chmod, and generally, if you create any folders, and if you think certain groups or certain users should have access, all those things, based on, again, you should rarely use this command. Every company will have some certain standards, I'll say. The standards they maintain, just hold on. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, the standard they maintain are like, they will have some umask values. So they will maintain certain umask values, and they will have some certain permission standards. And without knowing, company standards, you should not use it. So ls-ltr. So here, right, it is having some values. If you want to change, see, for this file, you're having read write executable for user, and user, this is all in depth, user group others, but I can say short, to go short, you can change the permission using chmod. So you should go in depth like user group and others. Right now I can say, right, this belongs to users, this belongs to group, and this belongs to others. And it's a little complicated max is there. If you want to give, so there are 3 values, and so first value goes to user, second value goes to group, third value goes to other. And 7 is, right, it will have read write execute. So there is a max, read 2, and write 4, execute 7. So there is a complicated max here. So what I would say is, generally users, you are being user, you can use 7, but group and others, they generally give 4 and 4. So let me see what is there in the dst. Sorry, nothing is there. Okay, so generally 7 you should not give to everyone. I'm just, for practice purpose, I'm giving this to test, and See here. So here it change the values. Now for everyone, group and others, it is giving just read. RR means read. And for user, you are having all the options. And if I just want to give only read permissions to everyone, I can just keep 444 DEST. Well, right now we cannot. If we start discussing in depth, it will take a lot of time. So in short, you can remember chmod is used to change the permissions. So if you want, right, you can just go in depth and do some R&D. And I can only say that you are having three ranges here. First three belongs to user, second three belongs to group, the last three belongs to others. And so here also first value belongs to user, second value belongs to group, third value belongs to others. So you can do R&D more, and then you can change the permissions accordingly as per your requirements with chmod. Okay. And yeah, ch own, right, this is bit important. Maybe some coding level, some times you'll get. So this is nothing but changing the owner of the application, I mean owner of the file. So here if you see, the owners are root and root. And let us try to change the owner here. And if we see the value here, ch own -r username, group name, and then the folder name. So examples are username and then group name, and then folder name. Okay, I'll give pat and I will see. Fine. -r pat, and then road est. Did they keep colon? Yeah, colon. So let me execute and see the output. Okay, here I gave owner of for this folder as pat. Only he can change the values. No other person can change the values. So in applications you may having some specific user will have only rights. They something they say prod user. You might hear prod user. So if some applications will have some prod users, in those situations they will keep certain files to permissions to edit only for certain users. In those situations you can use. So here this is here the specific person, and this goes to group. Well, again, it's a complicated thing, user groups, all those things. So whenever a user is created, a group will be created. So in short, all those things will be defined in your company. What user, what group, all those things. So you should check the existing environment, and then using this command, you can assign the permissions to certain users. So here this is a user and this is a group. Okay. So using this command, you can change the owner of the file or folder. So right now you can just,
The C
yeah.
uh, the ch own command na matlab how we are using this part is the user and root is a group,
Yeah, that's
or
right.
it's
That's right. Root is a
so
group.
how is it assigning as matlab we can change the user matlab what is it doing? I didn't get it.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's like this. So right now, right, only this user can have permissions to change this destination folder. So yeah, and I am in the root. This is a super user. That's why I can edit. Otherwise, either root or else either pat can edit this destination folder. No one else can edit this destination folder. That is what it means. And yeah, I mean, don't go in depth. See, again, you have a user, creation of users, creation of group subject in Linux. If you create a user, group will be created. So right now, if you go in depth, right, it takes time. I mean, you should do at least half an hour, all those things. So you cannot go in depth. So what I'm saying is, in your company, everything would be defined. So I'm saying this command only right now at the moment. You should not go blank if someone says we have to change the owner of this file or folder. You don't need to worry. You should just use this command, and you should know company standards how they assign group username and group names, and give the command. And only Linux admin, they knows in depth. But or else, if you have time, you can go in depth. But right now, go with company standards. I would suggest, because we are not Linux admins. And so Linux course is a different course. If you go in depth, every topic will be big. So right now, in short, if you want to change the owner, you can use this command. So this is how you can change the value here. And what I would suggest, right, every time, if suppose you want to use ch owner in your company, say you want to use ch owner for certain folder. Okay, that is clear. Next point, to execute what I would suggest, take the example at somewhere where it is already configured. I'll say here. Say here, here the output is, so here output is clear. This is user, this is group. So it's like the output should be like this. When you do ls-ltr, the output should be like this. You should have some values here, you should have some values here. So in those situations, you can use this command, and you can get the output. Do comparisons, and change the owners, and get the desired output. Am I okay? I mean, is it okay, Neha? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, we are covering a little bit more topic. We are having a glance. Every topic, you can go in depth. You can take some time, and you can go in depth. Okay, cool. Okay, so now, so this is how you can change owner of the files and the trace route. Yep. Traceroute, generally you'll decide when there is issue with the connectivity between two servers. So in those situations, you will go with traceroute. So obviously you should know the destination address. Say there is no connectivity between IBM HTTP server and WebSphere. So in those situations, you can use this command. And okay, this is very short. Traceroute would be helpful when there is a connectivity issue between, servers are in different locations. Maybe, you're not able to connect DR from this place. DR could be in some other country. And, if you're not able to connect DR, if you just do some traceroute. So let me check. And if you do traceroute, it will check where we can find out where could be the issue, whether there is an issue with the router or all those things. And this is high level. In the initial levels, you don't use. Okay, this, to understand traceroute, you should know the complete architecture. Where are the routers configured? What are the details of router? And where is the load balancer, where is the firewall? You should know the complete architecture. By seeing IPs, you should know, oh, this IP belongs to this IP belongs to this. And you'll get complete output, from every step. It's like, I'll say you're in WebSphere right now. This server is WebSphere. So next level, it is connected to IBM HTTP server. After IBM HTTP server, it is connected to load balancer. Then, after load balancer, you may have some DMZ firewalls. Then, from firewalls, that will go to maybe DNS servers, where IP resolution will happen. And in between, you may having some routers. It's a high level command, to understand in depth. You should know the complete details of your architecture. Maybe L3s or architects, they will use this command. So just for knowledge purpose, you can know this. Traceroute just gives connectivity between source and destination. And even you will see the by packets loss. If there is any packets loss, if there are any network issues, right, you will see in the traceroute. And where exactly the network is breaking, and whether you are having loss of packets, is network slow. So all those things you can find out using traceroute. And very rarely you will use these commands, but it's always good. You know it. Yeah, ping anywhere.
How do we use it, Traceroute? traceroute command? मतलब, what's the format of using it?
That's it. Traceroute space destination IP address. Destination means you're just checking.
Okay, so
Yeah. Just you're just checking from yours.
connectivity to
Yeah.
that destination from
Exactly.
source servers to that destination.
Exactly. True. So traceroute space destination host or IP address. That's it. And yeah, ping. Anyways, Windows. We have checked ping. So let us check here. Ping. Yeah, ping. It's ping just says connectivity between a source and destination. So I believe ping. Most of you guys know. That's fine. Control C. Okay, and then where are we? Ping. Okay, so cat we have discussed, and yeah, kill. So after using ps command, so I should keep this in the. I should keep this here actually top ps. Okay, after ps. Sometimes when you restart, also some processes will not get killed. Say you have seen in this output, in the above output psf and efww, you might have seen some waiting processes, many waiting. You'll get list of the services waiting, all those things. So some there could be some hung processes. In those situations you have to restart jvm. So well, again, in the real time you should think that if you have to restart, most of the cases you should take heap and thread dumps as per your process. Okay, so you have to you will restart your service, then few process ids will not get killed. And in those situations you should use kill hyphen 9, and then you should use the process id to kill the process. So let me use let me check ps. See, these all are these all are process id values. uh, so these all are process id values, and if you want to kill them, you can use that command kill hyphen 9. Yeah, if you see here in the screen, seeing PID. Okay, so these all are PID, process ID values. And if you want to, here again, if you have to grep, if you want to grep, seeing some BASH. Oh God. Grep hyphen IBASH. So you got some process that is related to bash shell. Similarly, you should you will grep generally for your application, and you'll get process ID of your application, and you'll use kill kill hyphen 9, and you'll give the value of the process ID. So like this, you can kill the hung processes if restart doesn't helps, and this is a bad process which is affecting our server. In those situations you can use kill, and you're force killing the running process. So kill, you can use manually to kill the process. Fine. And now, well, now we have come to VI editor. I was saying cat, using cat, you can create and edit. Yeah, you can create files and you can read files. And there is a better way I was saying. So the better way is VI editor. It is having more options. So VI, you can give some test. You can edit the same file, or else you can create a new file. So VI editor, I'm giving test file. I'm using the same file to edit. So I just pressed enter. So now it has opened this file. So VI editor, you're having here, you'd be having many options, and whatever I say, remember, and maybe you should rewind this video again and again to by heart. So let me say, so right now it is open in the default method. So there are particular methods here. In simple, I if I want to say the first thing, if you want to edit this file, so right now it's in a read mode. If you want to edit this file, I should click on escape, or else I should just press I. Sorry, yeah, I pressed escape, and I just pressed I went then, now it went to insert mode. And yeah, if I pressed I, it went to insert mode. I can write something now. So I'll say you once again. The first mode, default mode, is just it went to read mode. Then I pressed I, it went to insert mode. Here you can see insert mode. And now I want to save this file. For that I'm pressing escape keyword in my keyboard, and I'm pressing this colon, and I'm using W. W is used to save this file, and I'm using Q to quit this file. So right now you can read this file using cat. Yes, even you can use using this via editor. Yeah, and see, I'm pressing I. Yeah, it went to insert mode. And you can type something, and if you want to save it, press escape on the keyword, and then colon. You should press colon and then W. W is to save and Q is to exit. So yeah, this is how you can just create files, and you can edit the files using vEditor. So vEditor is the best method. And cat, based, you can just, based on your experience, you can use cat also. But vEditor is very oftenly used in the company. So any doubts about vEditor? I mean, I know both of you guys know. Sandeep, any doubts on this vEditor? Okay, just so long, guys. I have to keep charger. My laptop is running low battery. Okay, so let me come to the next topic. Here I told you, press escape keyword, type WQ, it will save and exit. And I even said here, press keyword I, okay, and then it will go to insert mode. I told those things, and you can read using cat also, fine. And now suppose you want to create a shell script. And shell scripts you can use using vEditor. The only thing is, you give some name, script script, and then you have to extend, you have to save with .sh, then it will be shell script. And you can just do some, okay, you can write, I'm going to insert mode, and I'm writing cat test file, and I'm saving it. Okay, so I wrote a shell script, so let me execute it. Okay, script doesn't have execution permission. Okay, /scra. Okay, I just showed how to create a script here. So what I'm saying, using vEditor you can write scripts. So just now I just wrote one very simple script. So we are using, if you want to write any scripts, you should save it with .sh. So here I just wrote a script saying cat test file. Anyways, in the script you will have thousands of lines, or maybe hundreds, or yeah, maybe hundreds or thousands or maybe 50s, whatever. So right now I just wrote single command. I mean, yeah, single command. So if you want to execute the scripts, you can do dot slash and execute the script. So it is just being cat and the file name. It is just showing the output. And similarly, the same script can be scheduled. Those things would be done using cron tab. That is there anyways in the list. I'll come to that list after a while. Fine. So like this, you can create files using view editor and create scripts using means saving the file with .sh, and anyways you can execute using dot slash. And I was saying you earlier, just now we have used command find and hyphen name, and we gave some file name, we got the output. So here till here it is doing fine, and for every output you may get 50 log files or maybe 30 log files, whatever. So for all those log files, this command will simply do zip, and it will just zip it. And by any chance, if you want to move those files to some certain destination, so the same I'm just using do mv complete destination done. Okay, here I'm just moving the logs to certain destination, but this is without zip. If you see here, instead of zip, I just done mv command move I those output to destination path. So this command, I'll repeat again. So for in,
And for the starting also, this M time is like कि the files which are have not been modified from the last 14 days.
exactly, which are 14 days old. That's true. Yeah. You can change the value as per your requirement. So here
Okay.
I'm getting certain logs of 14 days old log files. So since I kept I mean here, and it will take $I for all the files, and it is doing zip here. And the same script here, since I kept move mv and then so destination path, so every file it will be moved to the path wherever you gave. So
This
yeah.
9-9V is doing what? -9V.
Even I'm not sure. I just doing it. Maybe you can remove that 9 also. It doesn't make much difference. You can just do some man and gzip, and then you'll get all those details. But right
And
now
this
I believe
this
verbose. Okay.
dollar I okay. And this
Okay. Dollar.
dollar
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
what this dollar I don't
Yeah.
understand any.
Yeah. Dollar is nothing. See now you are getting some value here. Okay. I told
Hmm.
for in, so it's a for this every output it will treat as a variable I for
Okay.
in, and then I kept dollar, right? So
Hmm.
for I in this every value it will treat as a dollar I, and I kept here dollar I. So this value would come here, and then it will do the zip. So it's a loop. So it's a loop. It's a you would be you if you think about this command, you can use this for multiple purposes. And yeah, I mean, just Google about this syntax, similar syntax. You'll get many situations. You can automate your admin processes with just simple for command. You can do many automations in your work admin activities. So that's fine. So here, in short, whatever the value you comes here, it will replace here I, and it will do that whatever the command you gave here, it will perform that activity.
Zip it will do. And the second one,
Yeah.
what it's doing?
It will, yeah, MV. I placed it MV. So yeah, and MV, and I kept dollar I, and then I kept the destination path. So it will move the file to the destination. So
Okay, the source
first,
file will move to destination.
exactly. So which no, every no each and every file which you got in this output, every
Okay.
file of this output will move to destination folder. Okay, and do this practice in your laptop. Then you can try in the development environment in your office. Then go for prod. So yeah, step by step. And okay, du-csh, it's a human readable format, you'll get about disk space in your box. Do you csh? Okay, uh, better we do in some other folders. Dot. Okay, let us go to VAS installation softwares. Du csh. It may take time. Okay. Something like star. Okay. So see here, it is giving all the sizes of the files 1.1 GB, 8061 MB. Total is, it is even giving total size of 6.1 GB. So yeah, if you use this command, it just gives size of every file and total space occupied for that folder. And yeah, if you have any space issues, you will use these commands duf and csh star. Okay, so you can use option sort -r, to get ascending order, descending order, sort -n -r. Let us see that just to get some. One second. Yeah, we are using pipe. Sort -n-r. Uh-oh. Now see, it's giving descending order. That's fine. You can use, maybe again you can use head, tail, all those things.
This -n and -r, matlab, what's these wildcard meaning of these? Matlab, if
It's
we are
just
ascending and
sorting,
descending.
sorting. That's it. Let us do something. You can Google more. It is just doing descending order right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if you just you can Google forget ascending order. So whatever it is, just arranging. Sort is just arranging. So based on output, you can take the decisions. Fine. So yeah, that's about disk space issues. Well, this is a complex command. I told you, using this for loop you can do many things. It takes time to understand this one. If you have some hooked logs, and this is just an example. This, even I'm not sure, I'm not good in awk, and for, I'm just giving an example. If you have some rough logs, and if you want to pull out some particular data, you can use awk. Awk means it arranges your output. And here I'm saying, for in, so here I want to check for all these ports. So I'm, and for I all in all these ports, and do zgrep hyphen eh. So here zgrep with hyphen e, I believe it will search all the zip files, and in the zip files where it is having some September, and it is having this port, and it is having this port, and the status is up, and it will check at this complete path. Okay, I'm just giving, this is one of the complicated command where you can use to get a certain data in your logs. Well, this is very high level when you become seniors, and if you want to get logs in certain fashion. This is just an example, to understand and get the data the way you want. So this, just keep records, try to understand, and try to make your own commands to pull logs. Fine. Well, etc/fstab, it's completely Linux level. This is just for information sake. It will be like this. What Linux admin they will do, they will mount while system is booting, it will have some standard configurations. Everything, if you want to do any permanent configurations, those will be stored here in etc/fstab file. So like you have drives, you have shared drives, you have SAN drives, all those things would be mounted here. So though you can just think like that right now, all the configuration would be stored here. Anything which is stored here would be permanent. To check existing permanent configurations, you can navigate this file and you can read. But we are being WebSphere admins, this is just an information purpose. We may not even access to read also. This is just an information purpose. etc/fs tab in the Linux, it will give the configuration details of that Linux box. Okay, and this again, this is uh, I just give you a glance. This again only in day-to-day WebSphere environment we may not use this command. Say if you want to install something, some packages in Windows, it is just double-click exe file. That's fine. But in Linux, right, you have certain features called something called RPM yum. Nowadays, we are not very often using this, but if at all you get such kind of situations, I'm just giving you this using RPM IVH, and then if you place a package name, you can install that application. So, and if you want to use RPM and if you want to do it, you can remove it. And but nowadays, even if you see IBM which /sh, if you just do / and then those would get installed. But this is just for information purpose, and you have something called RPM using which you can install packages. And the same way, yeah, the same way you have some yum. Even it was very old for yum is also very old. No one is using nowadays. So even yum can be used to install packages. So Raghu, did you use yum or RPM? RPM, I believe I know it would be used. Yum by any chance in the recent past? I guess not. Yeah. Why? Because well, IT is changing. So just these are fine. These are just information purposes. If you want, if you get a situation right, just do practice on your local laptop, dev environment, and then when you're comfortable, start using these things. And yeah, information level. These are init values. Well, the most common init values which is well, init 0 for shutdown, init 6 for reboot. But seriously, we don't use these things in the real time. I believe even when it is required, well, many financial projects, even when it is required, we will inform to Linux admins. So Neha, in your company, you guys do reboot, or you have some separate system admins who do reboot?
Linux admin and sysadmin is there
And
for AIX and Linux. They do reboot
ex-
it.
yeah. So, anyways, you should never use these commands. This is just information purposes. Maybe it can be used only in your local laptop. Init 6 is for reboot, and init 0 is for shutdown. So remaining all only while troubleshooting, if you require you'll go. But well, so right now you can just do in your laptop. In office you'll ask system and Linux admins to do it. And run level, you to check the existing run level. Default level, I believe it should be run level 5. So let me check. RULEBL run level. Yeah, default would be 5. Yeah, it will have all the features, network, GUI, and all those things. But in your office, your run level could be different. So in your home, the default level would be 5. So to check the run level, you can use run level command. And to check the IP address of the server, yeah, if config. So this is a very common used command. I believe I should keep this in the top. Mhm. If config, better I use Traceroute, ping, telnet. All these things should be at the same place. Fine.
Run level is for what purpose?
Okay, in your office, there are various run levels. For for various run levels, your server would be having some certain features. So just check in your office what would the run level and Google about that run level. This is just information purpose. This all headache is Linux admin headaches, and this is information purpose. Generally, those would be dealt with Linux admins. Maybe in your office, you can just go about check and run level, and Google about the existing run level. So fine. Okay, next, I place in the top, if config is used to check the IP address of system. If config, yeah, it just gives the IP address of your system. Yeah, that's it. If config, you can just check, to check the IP address of your system. And well, tar, it is really important, tar. So here, right, tar, I gave hyphen cvzf, and then here it is different. All these days we were discussing copy, source, destination, all those things. But tar, right, source would be here, destination would be here. Well, tar is being important. Let us do tar. Uh, let's test. Okay, so let us take tar and hyphen cvzf. I'll tell you what is this meaning, and then say some backup backup dot tar dot gz, and then test file. So I'm taking backup of test file to this backup with the name backup dot tar dot gz. Okay. Yep. So I took the backup, and yeah, then you can use mv command and move the file wherever you want. And okay, let me make a note. I remember one more command. scp is also important command in your office. Okay, fine. So tar, I'm taking backup. Now you can extract the backup. So to extract backup, you can use tar and then hyphen extract. Let me see what I have done. Yeah, extract VZF, next is common to extract. But okay, xvzf bsek backup dot, okay. Rm hyphen file. Let me remove this file. Yes. Hyphen xvzf. Okay. Dash not found. Okay. Yeah, see now. When I extracted this file, now I got the output. I'll show you once again. So I'm removing test file. See, I don't have any output here. Tar xvzf. So I'm just extracting the backup, and I got the backup file which I read in the backup. So here, okay, fine. See, using this command, I took the backup test file. So tar, and then this is the source and this is the destination. And here I'll say you the option what is z belongs to. If you took backup, same sorry, instead of zip file, you can take backup normally also. I'm just removing dot gz, and I'm removing z here. Oh, but okay, ls. See here. So right, if you want to take backup with zip format, you can use hyphen c. And if you don't want to take backup using zip format, you don't need to use z. And f belongs to file, and C belongs to copy, and V belongs to verbose. It should be maybe verbose. You can, it just displays output, whatever, all those things. Well, so C belongs to copy, F belongs to Y file, and Z belongs to zip. So here the main thing you can remember is hyphen C. So tar with option hyphen C, you can create backups. So tar with hyphen C, you can create backups, and this is the source file, and this is the destination file. And if you want to extract it, tar with hyphen X, you can extract the file, and then rm hyphen ftst. Fine. So tar with hyphen X, you can extract the file. Yes, you got the extracted file. Yeah, so tar is used to take the backup and to extract the files. Fine. And so earlier we have discussed, um, we have created a script. So you know, with that script you can create jobs also, and you can create jobs, you can edit jobs. Say like, you know, I want to take back, you know, you have created, you know, tar command, you know, you can take, you know how to take a backup. So at certain time you want to take backup of this file, so you can just create one tar command and create a schedule job, and you know, for those things you have to edit a file called cron tab. So let me do find. So earlier we have done find, and then we can give the path, and then we can give the name, and then say I want CRONTAB file name. So you can create cron jobs, you know, in the cron tab. So cron tab is generally used to create and schedule a jobs. So let us read etc/cron tab. So cron tab, I'm reading it. So here, you know, take some 5 or 10 minutes time and read this. So here the first star, so here it is just give, okay, first read this thing. So what exactly all these values belongs to. So what it is saying, so first you should give the username, which user would have permissions to execute this job. So say here I'm giving some root user should have permission, and here see command to be executed. Command to be executed is nothing but I want to run this script. So bash dot backup dot sh, I gave the script, and you know, there is a star here. So after username, this star belongs to day of the week, which day you want to run this job, like say suppose Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever, and then this which month, every month, or you know, which month you want to run. And if you see here which day of the month, and if you see here which hour of the month, and if you see here which minute of the month. In generally the jobs would be every day, or else weekly ones, and then monthly ones. So these three values, you know, just try to, it's just little maths, you know, go to YouTube and you know, and try to know more about it. So you can keep the values as per your requirement, and then you can schedule a job whether daily or weekly or else monthly. So as per your requirement, we can schedule a jobs here. So those things you can edit this file, man. Yeah.
Praveen, these cron jobs may not be performed by Middleware admin, right? Because it's a complete activity which is going to be taken care by
Linux
Linux
admin.
team. Yeah.
True. Depends, Raghu. If you are having domestic projects, the domestic project size, they'll give multiple roles to single person. If a person is able to can handle, can take responsibility, means they will give. Well, in the initial stages it will not happen, but if you go to domestic project, and if you work there for 3 years, then you know, they would be open to give all the responsibilities. So well, in the initial stage, yeah, we may not be doing it, but at least we should know information. So that's why I'm just giving you a glance. Yeah. But in my experience, one guy was there. He, you know, he learned from me, and within short time he migrated his whole environment to new servers. he created, he only installed everything, he only right from scratch, everything only he has done. In fact, even I did not do those things. So it happens. So this is just for information sake. Yeah, what you said is true. So fine. So this is about cron jobs, and so manually you can edit cron jobs using vEditor, and there are commands also. CRO and DAB cron tab -L, no cron tab for root. So cron tab -E. There are commands also if those required modules are configured in your laptop. So first thing you can do, vEditor, you can just edit this file, cron tab file, using vEditor and schedule the jobs. Or else, and even there are command modes, command mode to check the jobs, cron tab -L to list the jobs. So right now it is not showing the output, maybe the supporting packages for cron tab is not installed in my system. So this is about cron jobs. And but definitely you should know about jobs, because in real time you may be having some automations. You may have to write scripts for your own management of taking backups of zip files, moving zip files, all those things. So at least if you know right how it would be done, you can explain to system admins, Linux admins, you want so and so things, so you can schedule so and so things. Yeah, so that is about cron job. And then next, this is link files. Yeah, links, it will be like this. You find some log files, you find logs, and what will happen, you'll have some SAN storages, and in generally they will configure your log should be placed in a SAN storage, and some SAN storages would be linked to your server. And in company, to have some security features, you would they will configure links. So links, right, if you keep -S, um, I'm just saying, you can create some XYZ folder to some links. To understand, I'll just tell you some output. Oh. So in your company, if you do LSF and LTR, it would be like this XYZ, and it will keep some arrows and slash PQR slash something something, slash something it will be. What I'm saying, if you see certain such kind of outputs, what would be happen generally? This folder is linked to this folder. So I'm just saying, to understand your environment, when you do commands like df-h, and if you do something ls-ltr, or especially df-h, if you do such kind of things, you may see links in your office. So try to understand how your links are organized, and how to take the appropriate action. So there is something called link source, link in your in Linux environment. So it's been long time that I have done link. So anyways, if you want to do the link, cat, sorry, cat link, and then, sorry, I should use, okay, I did not say you the command. There is one more command, touch, to create files. Okay, that's fine. It means it's a file, it's a command to create empty file. So I have created a file using touch, and then ln-s. Okay, test file. First I'll give okay, first I'll give the file name, which is not there, link to, okay, ls-ltr. So you see here, so this, this link to is actually the source file is this. So this is just a link, cat link to. Yep. So I believe you got what I'm trying to say. In your company, you'll be having some links, based on the output, you have to analyze, and you have to take the decisions, especially while moving logs or all those situations. I'm just saying that there's something called links in the Linux, so you can see like this. Okay, and SCP is used to connect from one server to another server. CR, VS server 1, and then server 2, and SCP generally it is used to copy files also, to move yeah, you can place files from one place to another, and just let me do a man SCP. SCP copies files between hosts on a network. So you're having some network, and anyways, connectivity is there using ping, telnet, all those things. Connectivity is there. In those situations, what you'll do, so in the local systems, you'll use copy, and you'll copy file from one source to destination. But this is in the local system. But if you want to move file from one server to another server, in those situations, you'll use SCP, and you'll give details of your source system, something like there is something called root colon host name, and then give the file name. So this is the source, and then you'll give destination something path, and then you'll give the host name, and you'll give the path, folder name. So this file name would be copied into this folder. So in short, SCP is used if you want to copy files from one server to another server. Yeah, this is also most widely used command, SCP. And then, so it is used to copy files from one server to another server. 540.
How this SCP will copy content from one server to another, but how is the connectivity between two servers
Yeah,
established?
exactly. Good question. Here, in the syntax, you may have it may ask you password, and in the command syntax sometimes you may have to give password, or else it's like this. So you're already in the source, right? You're already in the source, and so if you, while giving the destination path there, you may have to give username password, or else it will ask for the password in the between, and then there you have to enter the password. Well, this is one scenario, and there is another scenario. I believe even in your office you would use the same username to log into all the servers, right?
No, we have different user for different servers.
Okay, say then. Okay, I'll say this way. This is one server I'm using root, and okay, say Praveen, and this is another server I'm accessing using Praveen. If you are using the same access for different servers, same credentials, in those cases it will not ask for username and password. Only, yeah, only if you have to log in using different usernames, then it will ask. Maybe in the command, or else even while copying, it will ask you. There you should give. I mean, you can Google it more to go into depth. So in short, it is used to copy files from one server to another server. Okay, and Raghu, do you think we missed anything else in Linux which you feel important? I mean, even which we can learn from you, which is important, which in the Linux.
Nothing much here. I think so. It's more enough, I believe.
Mhm. Okay, guys. Yeah, I mean, Sandeep, don't wonder. While listening, you may feel like you understood everything. So you may have to, uh, take some time, and whichever you want to learn, pull out time and do practice. And
Uh,
Linux generally, yeah.
like SCP command, Neha, do you have only single credentials to log into all servers or
No,
multiple?
it seems. Yeah, she's having
For
multiple users.
for some we have multiple users, for some servers same user. मतलब it's like कि different users are also there and same user is also
Like example, I can conclude about the SCP. Like if you are copying any file from dev environment to production environment, example. Okay.
there.
If you have multiple credentials also, if you are logging to dev environment and you are supposed to copy some server one to production environment, you can use this SCP. Once you log into, you have to log into dev environment and you have to copy the SCP command. You have to execute the SCP command, And once command is executed to the production environment, you have to give the
Yeah,
then
it will ask for password, right? Yeah,
production also.
yeah.
You go to route to the production also, and you have to give the credentials of production also. Once it is heated to production, you have to give the credentials over there also.
I'll try using it because I find it very interesting.
Yeah.
But one thing is, you can try in dev and QA, but don't try in
Obvious.
production.
See, this is universal advice, and anything which you want to do, which you don't know, means first try in development, or else
Ah,
before the
yes.
yeah, before that you can try in your home. That is also very good, and then you go to office and try in dev. And
Hmm.
yeah, this is very basic, but we should never forget. It is very important also.
And meanwhile, like the ch1 command, chmod commands also don't
Uh-huh.
implement in real time.
Yeah.
It-
Mm. And that's why I told you, you should, before executing, you should know the desired output, how it will look like. You should pull out some report which is configured correctly. So you should get that desired output. Then you know you should do in development QA. Okay, after executing this command, am I getting desired output? You should check all those things and then you should do. Oh yeah. Anyways, IT, yeah, default. Whatever we do, you should do experiment. You should do R&D. Only once you are sure, you should do it. That is for any work. Yeah. And even if you work slow, no one will say anything. But if you do mistake, go on, cause everyone will sit on our head. Especially for Sandeep, this advice is for you. True, right, Raghu?
no problem. It's applicable to everyone. Yeah, not only, it's applicable to everyone because not only you, not only me, it's
I
applicable
mean,
to you as well.
no, why I'm saying because we know it. So,
That's one of the thing. Because like in a hurry, might be we may do it. Like it's a
um,
passion to everybody.
mm, true. So, yeah, I thought to create a profile through silent method, but that's fine. Today it's okay. We are done enough. Anyways, it's only single command manage profiles. We can do it tomorrow also. And so anything, guys, anything else which you feel like in the Linux we can cover? You can, yeah. So, so fine, guys. So we'll meet up tomorrow. So and Neha, for you, 5 p.m. is okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
So we'll see what we did not cover. I will try to cover something on WebSphere tomorrow between 5 to 7. Or if we finish it soon, that's when we'll take a break. And
Okay.
and Jyoti, I did not even check whether she's available tomorrow or not. That's fine. But Sandeep and Raghu, you guys are okay to have normal class at 7, right?
Yes.
And so Neha, you are okay to stretch tomorrow? I mean, if we take class again at 7, we'll take small session, not more. Maybe just 7 to 8.
It's okay.
So
No
we'll be
problem.
occupied, yeah, we'll be occupied from 5 to 8. And Raghu, you can join at 5. Raghu and Sandeep, if you guys are interested, you can join at 5 also, 5 p.m. no problem.
Okay, sure.
So, anything else for today's class? Okay, chalo then. See you guys. See you tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Thank you, Praveen. Good night.
Thanks. Good night. Have a nice day. Bye.